All right, so that previous example was basically just a compound interest formula. It's like you put the money in, you leave it for 4 years, and you end up with $6,800. Yay, that's wonderful. So what we've got though is we're talking about an annuity. Okay, so with an annuity, it takes the form of a sum of compounded interest investments. So basically, okay, have a look at this. If you invest $1,000 at 10% per annum at the end of each year for 5 years, okay, so to calculate that, you have to calculate the first 1,000, okay, invested for 4 years, because that $1,000 is going to be in there for the 4 years. Or it's going to be invested at for 4 years. Is that right? Yeah, I think it's all right. And then the second one is going to be invested for 3 years, and so on and so forth. Third invested for 2 years, and then this last one, which if I highlight you can't read, is the fourth one's invested for 1 year. Okay, each of those investments together would add up to the total amount. Okay, so here you have this wonderful thing. I'll just move it over so you can actually see it. No, I won't. Apparently I'm going to move that up and down. I hate it when I do that. Let's just move it to there. Let's just move that. That's better. Okay. Each of those investments will be added together with the final $1,000, which is added at the end of the investment period. So you got to remember it's the end of each year. Okay. So this is the working out for it down here. Okay. Future value of this annuity is therefore that's that one. Then you got that, and then the other 1,000, which is that last 1,000. So it's the end of each year for 5 years. Okay. Now that's all well and good for 5 years, but normally you're going to be doing a lot more than that. So we actually have a formula that does that, and here it is down here. Now once again, this will be on your formula sheet, so don't stress. The only things you need are the A, the R, and the N. A is the contribution per period paid at the end of the period, R is the interest rate, and N is the compounding period. So you can see in your booklets they've got an example of it where they've just used those same numbers. So that's nice. But you don't need to use that formula. Sorry, I said it was in your formula sheet. We don't use it was 3 years ago. You don't use it in the formula sheet now. You've actually got a table. Do you remember the depreciation, or is it the compound interest table? So we've got the same thing. So instead of putting in $1,000, we put in 1. So instead of the $1,000, we're actually just putting in the 1, because that's what our formula will have. Our sheet will have. Now they've of course done a completely different example, which is nice of them. There you go. Yeah, no, we're not doing an Excel spreadsheet today. Okay, so this value can be used to calculate the future value of any similar annuity. So basically, what they've done is they've found a rate that is correct. That's how much you would get at 8% per annum, 20 years, if you invested $1 at the end of each one. Okay, so that's what the table is based on. They've done one of those for $1, for 8%, 7%, 6%, 5%, and so on and so forth. And they've also done it for 1 year, 2 years, up to 20 years or whatever. Okay, so that's what that's about. And in a second, we will get to the actual next worked example for it. So, okay, so they've got a table there. We're not worried about that because you'll find that your table is not on page 30. You'll find that your table is on page 9. So there it is there. So we're going to use that in the next worked example.